And turn your phones to vibrate so that we don't have any ringing in the background, because we are recording this today. And we'll be able to replay this for those that are not here. So for those of you that I have not met, my name is Brian Pate. I am a national speaker in the real estate business and in the small business world. My focus right now is all about showing business owners how to use artificial intelligence to improve their business. How many of you have heard this phrase? Artificial intelligence is going to replace me. How many of you have heard that? So I'm here to tell you something. I got good news for you, Shane. Artificial intelligence is not going to replace you. What's going to replace you is someone that's your competition that's using artificial intelligence to make the consumer experience better. And that's where everything starts. If you're here because you want to automate things so you don't have to work as much, we got a couple of weeks to go, or a couple of months to go towards that. Okay. Today, we're going to get you set up with all of the systems. We're going to make sure that you can log into OpenAI's ChatGPT. We're going to make sure that you understand how to write a basic prompt. And what you're going to get is, I'm going to get all the emails from everybody that's attended today, and you're going to get an email from me once a week that's going to be your prompt of the week to help your business. Okay? So you're going to be getting things literally once a week for the next 6 months by attending today. You with me? So the idea here is to help you build your business. Let me give you a taste of what I do with artificial intelligence and video. Take a look.
Good chair.
Absolutely.
All right, let's dive in. What's this all about?
Real estate? Right. Real estate.
We're here to learn.
The AI advantage.
We'll help you sell. A new listing. Let's make a deal.
Always be closing. Sold.
Or come home.
It's my dream house.
There's no place like home. Woo! This is here.
The time is now.
AI.
Agents will shape the future. This is just the beginning.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's do this.
Together with AI. Class is in session. Then what are we waiting for? Let's get started. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get rocking.
That entire video was completely done by artificial intelligence and taking movie clips from YouTube and movieclips.com and building the library of information. Once I had everything, it took me a while to download all of those clips, but once I did it, that video took less than 10 minutes to produce. So we're going to show you how to be able to do things like this. We're going to show you a couple of different brands that you can use. If you have not done so already, this is the download. I have ChatGPT, and when I say ChatGPT, just so we're clear, I am talking about the OpenAI version of ChatGPT. Everything that we do is going to be based off of this software system. So whether you're on an Android or an iPhone, you can download this to your phone, because I'm also going to teach you how to use your phone today so that when you're out and about and you need to solve a problem, you can actually talk to ChatGPT. And we'll discuss that here a little bit later as we move forward. So if you haven't downloaded this to both your computer and your phone, you can log into both of them for the $20 a month. So again, that's part of the reason that I encourage you to do that, so that the system will allow you to be learned. So I am going to ask you to pull out your phones for a moment, because I want to give you a little test here and see how you guys do. This is one of my AI characters. This is Jack. Okay? Jack's going to walk you through this process. So follow along, get your phone in your hand, and follow along with my buddy Jack.
Hi everyone, my name is Jack and I am one of Brian's AI assistants. At the beginning of the next section, you are going to use your phones for an in-class exercise. So pull out your phones. Go to your text messaging and send a text to 22333. That is the phone number you are sending to. Again, that is 22333, just like you see on the screen. Now type in Brian Pate 428 into the body of the message. Again, that is Brian Pate 428.
And that's BRIANPATE 428.
Now, press send. Once you sent it, you should get a notification that says, "You've joined Brian Pate's session."
And there at the bottom of the screen is what it should look like. Everybody get that? Okay.
Okay, Brian, I'm turning it back over to you.
All right, thank you, Jack. I appreciate your help. So I use AI characters like this throughout my work with teaching because quite frankly, people get tired of seeing me. I'm not near as cute as Jack is. I think we can agree on that. I also have a character named Bodie that is a sea turtle and he's a surfer dude. So he talks like this. I used my son's voice for that one. But what I've done is I've used AI to create these voices and these characters so that they assist me in the classroom. So I'm able to have a conversation with them when I'm teaching, training, and coaching. I also use them to do reports and updates on my podcast, on my YouTube channel, TikTok, Instagram, etc. I am a heavy social media user, so people get tired of hearing just Brian talk about stuff. Make sense? So we want to go on and give people a reason to continue watching your content, and having those characters will enable you to do so. Now, did everybody get the note that you've joined Brian Pate's session? Everybody got that? All right, so let's go to your phone then. Let's give you some practice with how this system works. So all you have to do is send a text. How long have you been a member of the Franklin County Chamber of Commerce? All you have to type is A, if you are not a member, B, if you've been a member for 1 to 2 years, C, if you've been a member for 3 to 5 years, or D, if you've been a member for 6 or more years. Go ahead and hit that letter and hit send. So this is a system that I use called Poll Everywhere. This is another AI system that allows me to do polls and quizzes for people online. I can do it in a PowerPoint presentation, I can set it up as a website, and I can also set up the different ways that it gives me feedback. And I'll show you those samples here in the next 2, because we got 2 more of these that we're going to test, just so you see how it works. This again gets interaction with your social media pages, with your website, etc., and can offer you some insight. How many of you are familiar with SurveyMonkey? How many of you, let me ask you this first. How many of you send out a survey for your business when you finished working with the client? See, you're missing an opportunity. There is a book that I will recommend to you from the Harvard Press. It's called The Ultimate Question. And what it does, how many of you have seen somebody saying, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend Penny's commercial cleaning service? How many of you have seen those, okay? The idea behind it, and I'll save you reading the last half of the book, you can just read the first 4.5 chapters. But the idea is that if anybody ranks you lower than an 8, you've got work to do. Anybody ranks you lower than an 8, you've got work to do. Now, you do get some people occasionally, the same people that leave negative reviews about everything and fuss and complain about everything on the Facebook pages. Those people you're going to kind of throw away. But if you're asking people on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are they to recommend your business, an 8 is the minimum score to really be providing a high level of service. That is what the book basically talks about in detail. So it looks like we've got a couple of folks that have been here for a while, lots of new folks, so I'm glad you new folks are here. The Chamber of Commerce helped me build my business. I've been a member of both this chamber and the Wake Forest Chamber for about 25 years at this point. So I remember when B was up there in Lewisburg in that little bitty building. So let's go to our second question here. Which category would you put yourself in when it comes to artificial intelligence? A means you're an AI novice and you've never used it before, okay? B is you're an AI explorer, which means you've used it but not to a heavy extent. And C is that you're a power user and you regularly use multiple AI systems. Go ahead and enter your answer for me. Okay, got some that are brand new. So the idea today, I want to make sure you understand where we are. If you've already used AI to an extent, today may be a little bit elementary for you. But for those that are brand new to artificial intelligence and using it, we're going to take you today from 0 to 1. And then in November, we're going to take you from 1 to 2. And then in December, we're going to take you from 2 to 3. And then on, so that you're going to be on a level that most businesses are not when you get to the point where we're finished in March of next year. Okay, so this is a process for you. This is not, if you're here this morning and you're like, well, I've got what I need, I'll run back. You're going to get the very basics here today to get you set up and teach you how to use it. And we're going to play a little bit at the end of the morning when I finish with the actual presentation part of this. So I want you to understand, this is a process. I teach on a concept called the 100-hour rule. If you got a pad and a pen, this is a writer-downer, as I say, a writer-downer. The 100-hour rule is a concept that was actually taught by Warren Buffett to his pilot when they were flying together. His pilot had been working with him for about 8 years, and Warren Buffett asked his pilot, he says, what are your plans after you stop working for me? And the pilot said, well, I really intend to continue working for you until I retire. He says, Warren Buffett says, there's got to be more for you. There's got to be something. And he says, well, I don't know what I want to do. So Warren Buffett sent the pilot home. He says, write down 25 things that you want to do before you die. 25 things that you want to do before you die. Guy was about 47, 48 years old. He comes back with his list of 25 things. Warren Buffett sends him home again. He says, now pick the top 5. What are the top 5 things? What are the top 5 on this list? And he narrows that down. And then he comes back with his list of 5. And then he looks at it and says, okay, now pick the one that is the most important. He said, anything that distracts you from that one thing should be pushed aside. Because there's a difference between being busy and making progress. Okay? So that's the first thing that we have to establish. What is your reason for being? What is your one goal, one thing? If you've ever read the book by Jay Papasan, The One Thing. Okay? That ties into the 100-hour rule. So someone that works a full-time job works 40 hours a week for 50 weeks a year. So they have 2,000 hours in any single work year. And the goal here is to spend 100 of those 2,000 hours working on the one thing for the year. How many of you do your business planning and you've got that one thing that's in your head for the year, and then by April 1st it's gone and you're just trying to struggle to survive and stay afloat? Make sense? We all do it. We're all business owners. And you've never owned a business if you haven't mentally quit once a month, and maybe more. If you're a realtor, I tell you, if you don't quit once a week, you're not really in the business because it's so difficult. But the idea here with the 100 hours is if you spend 100 hours in the next 12 months learning artificial intelligence, you will be better at it than 95% of the planet. Now, you're never going to get, at least from learning from me, you're never going to learn how to program the back end of AI and how to set it up and write your own AI. But you don't have to be a tech expert to do everything that I'm going to teach you. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to use it at an elementary level, and we're going to not make it complicated. That's my goal for you, is to make it simple. So all I'm asking for you is 100 hours over the next year. Here's what that equates. You ready? 17 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. 17 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. Let me say that again. 17 minutes per day, Monday through Friday. That's all it takes to reach your 100 hours. You with me? Now, I know darn good and well that when you sit down for 17 minutes, you're not going to set a clock to turn it off at 17 minutes. So there are going to be some days where you work for a half an hour. There are going to be other days that you don't work at all. But the idea is to touch it and use it every single day for the next year. That will make you better at it. It's no different than reading a book. You can sit down and read 200 pages today and not touch it for 6 weeks and finish it the next time you open it. Or you can read 1 chapter a day and be done with it in 17 days. Am I making sense? It's all about consistency. Business is not about finding that one pill that you swallow that suddenly makes you successful. Your business is made successful by the little bitty things that you do every single day. Something as simple as 5 phone calls a day to your sphere of influence saying, who do you know that's thinking about doing this or that? That's where the business booms. And as you do that for many years, at some point in your career, you become a lead receiver rather than a lead generator. And that's what a lot of people don't learn in school, is the stick-to-itiveness, as my grandfather used to call it. They don't stick to it. You know, they go through the motions, they do whatever minimum is that they have to do to graduate from high school. Then they get to college and all of a sudden they're blown away. And that's why we see such a high dropout rate in college. I was one of those victims. I went to college in 1987 and came home my spring semester with a .89 GPA. My dad asked me why my blood alcohol content was higher than my GPA was. I said, I have a very good reason for that, as you can imagine. So let's go to our third one. For those of you that are using artificial intelligence, this one's a little bit different. You're not just typing in A, B, or C here. If you're using a piece of artificial intelligence, tell me what it is. Is it ChatGPT? Is it Hedra? Is it 11 Labs? What are you using? So I want to see what you guys are already using so that we may be able to cater to some of this. Okay, so ChatGPT there. All right, so everybody's using some type of GPT. So lesson number 1. ChatGPT is a protocol. It is not a brand name. OpenAI is a brand name. Perplexity AI is a brand name. So ChatGPT is kind of like tissue paper when you blow your nose, and OpenAI is Kleenex, Puffs, etc. So understand, for the purposes of this class, we're going to use OpenAI and ChatGPT interchangeably. However, when you get outside these walls and you say, well, I use ChatGPT, and you talk with somebody that's knowledgeable, they're going to say, which one do you use? Am I making sense? So I just want you to be prepared for that as you have these discussions. So who's using Grok? You, okay, so what do you know about Grok?
Not too much. I just learned about it last week.
Okay, so what triggered you to download it?
I was at another seminar.
You were in another seminar. Okay, so here's the good, bad, and ugly of Grok. Guess where it gets trained? Twitter. Anybody been on Twitter? The cesspool of social media. So just be careful with anything that you do on Grok. Make sure you're verifying, because Grok hallucinates more because people set it up to do so. If you ask Grok if the Holocaust was real, it'll say it was made up. Make sense? So just be careful with stuff like that. So let's talk about, if you're on your cell phone, I want you to open up what you downloaded a minute ago. And if you need to download it again, here's the QR code so that you can download again. We're going to actually go to your system and we're going to set up some customizations today. All right? While you're doing this, I want to go through the room and I want to find out what everybody does. So Kristen, can you start me out? What business are you in? HVAC, okay. And so what do you do at the HVAC company? Okay.
A lot of paperwork stuff.
A lot of pushing paper. Okay, Jason, what about you?
Same.
Okay.
HVAC, but doing sales and marketing.
Sales and marketing. And what's your company name, just so I know?
J&M.
J&M, okay.
Maintenance.
J&M Building Maintenance. So do you do commercial or residential? Yes, okay, got it. All right, Penny, can you tell us a little bit about your business?
We're commercial janitorial. We really only do businesses.
Okay.
We don't, it's called quarter clean. We don't cut corners, we clean them.
Got it. I love it. I like that. I like that. Shane?
I am a realtor.
Okay. A new realtor. Oh, can I do some things for you, my dear?
Yes.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. That's like after 32 years in the real estate business, my wife hates going to dinner with me because if I hear somebody at the next table talk about selling their house, I'm like, meerkat. You know what I mean? So, all right, Sonia, what about you?
I own Trentheim Designs, and we are a laser engraver kind of builder. Like we make like the workspace signs out here.
Okay.
Things like that, ornaments, kind of anything that you can do with wood or acrylic.
Okay.
We create, but I am a former realtor in Ohio.
Gotcha.
I put my license on the when I moved down here.
Okay, gotcha. Donna, tell us about yourself.
Workspace Provision is my business, so yeah,
small businesses get bigger.
I love it. I love it. And Tara?
I work for Franklin County Schools. I do career development, and I'm also the school counselor. But I'm doing this to market things to high school students to make it more interesting.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. How to communicate with high school students. Learn to say bet instead of I agree. Yeah, that's you have to. They talk in their own language, don't they? So remind me of that today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to prompt AI to explain it to you like you're a 17-year-old. And it will use those slang terms. Make sense? So the first time you do that and you walk in, man, that was an awesome experience. No cap. Bet. I'm telling you, you got to check this out. There's no sus about it. And they're going to look at you and go, what in the hell happened to Miss Tara? You with me? So, but look, I love messing with my children. Whenever I say one of their slang words, my youngest daughter, she looks at me and goes, just don't, please stop. So it's always fun to mess with them. That's our job as parents, is to mess with our children. I think it's why God put them on earth, so that we had someone to play with.
So wait a minute, you say bet
Instead of I agree or you're so right, you just say bet.
Thank you.
There you go, Penny. I'm teaching you a foreign language in addition to AI today. You like that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So let's get in and set up customizations. Now, this is a mobile setup that you're looking at. This is screen grabs from my phone, just to walk you through here. If you are on the laptop version of this and you're logged in, you're going to see on the left-hand side, on the very bottom left, you're going to see your name. Does everybody see that? Everybody see your name? All right, so we're going to go here and we're going to click on your name right here. And when you click on it, it's going to send you to this page. Does everybody see this page with the personalizations, the email, the phone number, subscription, etc.? So up here on the right-hand side, you're going to see your email address that you're using and your phone number. Okay? And then you're going to see what subscription you have. ChatGPT Plus is the $20 a month version. Now, if you own a business, Jason and Kristen, and you have 15 to 20 people that are working for you, and you want everybody to share the same chat account so that the system can learn from everybody, then you can get what's called the enterprise version. The enterprise version is $200 a month. It is designed for businesses, not individuals. So Shane, we're realtors. We don't need the enterprise version. Okay, so there's ChatGPT Plus and there's ChatGPT Enterprise. Everybody cool with that? So we're going to go here to where it says personalization. Everybody see that? So click on personalization. And when you click on personalization, this is the screen you're going to see. And you want to make sure that you're enabling customization. So make sure that is green so that you can apply it. Okay? Now, under the ChatGPT personality, it gives you choices as to what you can use. I go with the basic version. I go with the default on here. We can edit that out, right? I go with the default on here. And then you're going to go to custom instructions. Now, before you start typing stuff, let's talk about what you're going to type in here. This is where you set up what you want ChatGPT to do. So you can tell it about your business. You can say, I own an HVAC company that does both commercial and residential HVAC. You can have corner cleaning company and put your slogan in there. We don't cut corners, we clean them. I love that, by the way. You can come up with your tagline as a realtor. Whatever you do, if you hire Shane, start packing, no. It's cheesy and it's old and it's tired. But come up with something. By the way, we're going to teach you how to use ChatGPT to come up with that tagline as it learns your business. Everybody with me? So I have mine set up. Anybody remember being in senior English or junior English composition when you had to learn to write and you had to write in AP style on a 10th grade level? So what I've done here, I've programmed mine that all of its responses are going to be in AP style on an 8th grade level. The reason I do that, I come from 5 generations of the newspaper business. I am the first in 5 generations that has not been a newspaper publisher in my family. So I have a cousin that's the publisher of the Wall Street Journal. I have an uncle that was the publisher of the Evansville Courier Press. My dad was the publisher of the Myrtle Beach Sun News and the Tallahassee Democrat. So I got a lot of newspaper publishing in the background. I know what cut and paste is from setting up the real estate section at Dad's newspaper when I was 10 years old, back when we used to actually use a razor blade and a glue stick to set up the page. Make sense? So that was in the late or early 80s. Now, so I always use mine on an 8th grade level because they tell you the newspaper is printed on an 8th grade level. Any articles that you read in a newspaper are always done on 8th grade level. Okay? Second thing is, how many of you have seen output from artificial intelligence that you can tell it's artificial intelligence? If you know someone that can't string 3 words together and all of a sudden their post sounds like a New Yorker magazine article, you know, don't you? So a couple of the things that AI is famous for is M dashes. The M dash is the long hyphen that people use when typing. It's in place of a semicolon many times. So you have to decipher, do you want to include M dashes? I have it set so that it does not use M dashes in the output. Now I will tell you, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Okay? Sometimes it'll hit it, sometimes it won't. And then being a guy that's in the real estate business and using AI to help me write my property descriptions, I find it interesting. You can always tell if a realtor used AI because the description of the listing begins with, "Welcome to 123 Happy Hollow Lane." That's always the first line. The other thing that it always tells us in real estate is that the house is nestled somewhere and that it boasts something. So I have it set so that it doesn't use either of those words. Am I making sense? If you use it to write an email, it is going to output, "I hope this email finds you well." How many of you received an email that started like that recently? Yeah, that was written by AI. So you can tell when somebody really put their heart and soul into it when they just used AI and it begins with, "I hope this email finds you well." Everybody with me? So as you go along, you can come back here and make it not use certain words. All right? For example, ChatGPT, instead of saying, "We need to learn about this," it says, "Shane, let's delve into this." Nobody uses delve unless they're writing a formal paper for a doctoral thesis. You with me? So make sure you're speaking English. Make sure you're speaking English. It also has your nickname down here, and then your occupation, and then you can scroll down and give it more about you. But right now, all I want you to do is I want you to tell it what name do you want it to use, and then what is your occupation, okay? And for you guys, just HVAC, heating, and I would write it out, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Penny, you commercial cleaning services. Get into your detail there. And I'll give you a moment to type all of this in as we're going through. All of this area is where you control what OpenAI knows about you, knowing what it knows about you. Any questions so far? Again, I know we're just getting started, but we have a long way to go. We're like Smokey and the Bandit. We got a long way to go, but we got 6 months to get there. No Coors in the building, especially for breakfast. We're not doing that. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how to use it and what we're getting ready to do. We're getting ready to start to teach ChatGPT how to learn you. What does it need to learn about your business? So this is where you begin to analyze, okay, what is the focus of my business? Obviously for Penny, it's cleaning. Now, do you have a certain type of cleaner that you use? Are you using environmentally friendly chemicals and things like that? This, as you can tell looking at me, cleaning is way out of my zone. I have someone that does our house a couple times a week. But you have to decipher, do you use environmentally friendly? Is your business sustainable? Little things like that will show up in here as we are prepping everything. So let's talk about a couple of things that you need to be aware of. Number one, AI is not an attorney. You should not trust this to solve any legal issues. Now, I will tell you the story of a friend of mine that is an entertainment attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. His name is Reed Hunter. Reed helps artists and record labels fight copyright infringement all the time. And Reed called me about a year ago. He says, all right, king of AI, I have an ethical question for you. I'm like, go for it. I love it when I get those calls. He says, I have uploaded 500 of my previous briefs that I have written to ChatGPT. And I've asked it to learn my words, my sentence structure, my tone, etc. And now I've gotten to the point I can upload the details of the case as a PDF file, and ChatGPT in less than 30 minutes produces a brief that's 40 to 50 pages long, and it's better than if I wrote it myself. And I said, okay, what's the problem? He says, well, it normally takes me about 30 hours to write a brief. I said, okay. He says, do I charge them for 30 hours or do I charge them for 30 minutes? So I responded to him. I said, look, here's what you do. You're still charging them for 30 hours because AI is a tool. It is no different than the law books on the back of his wall that he's learning information from. And I said, so what you do is you charge people, we have a 30-hour rate that will run you this, or if you want it expedited quickly, we can have it back to you in less than 7 days. Which would you prefer? And by the way, there's a 40% premium on top of our regular charge.
He's charging more for it.
He's charging more for it because they get it back faster. What's your biggest complaint? Has anybody ever worked with attorneys before? What's the biggest complaint about attorneys? They are slow in responding, especially for us little guys. They got a $100,000 retainer fee from somebody. Guess who they're talking to before they talk to us for our $1,000 retainer fee? Make sense? And it's the same way we do in any business. We prioritize the best opportunity first. There's nothing wrong with it, but we have to keep that in mind. So again, it's not an attorney. If you use it to get legal advice, you should always consult with an attorney. One of the things you're going to hear me say over and over again is to proofread whatever you get from OpenAI. Always proofread it. How to proofread? Print it out, stand in front of a mirror, and read it out loud. Because if you're just reading it quietly, I learned this in the newspaper business, the human brain can take characters and functions and misspelled words and decipher what is being said. If you don't read it out loud, you're missing those errors that cause the brain to pause. It's the same technique that we use when we're marketing on social media, because the entire goal is to stop the scroll on social media. The entire goal is that person that's sitting there at their couch watching TV, chit-chatting with their family, and they're flipping through. What makes them stop? It's the same concept. The brain functions in the same way when it's proofreading. What do you do that draws its attention? Okay? Number two, you can build a legal and an ethical reference base. So Shane, for example, you can use all of the rules from the North Carolina Real Estate Commission. Did you know you can download a PDF file of the North Carolina license law in the state of North Carolina from ncrec.gov? and upload it to ChatGPT and tell it, from now on, whenever I'm writing advertising or marketing for my properties, make sure that it is in conjunction with the rules and regulations under General Statute 93A. And then she can go back in, because we have a realtor code of ethics. Okay, we have a code of ethics, and you can upload the code of ethics. And now you can say, everything that you provide for me, make sure it falls within the boundaries of the rules and regulations of the North Carolina Real Estate Commission, General Statute 93A, and the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics. And you guys can do that too. Whatever the rules and regulations are for your business, you can upload those PDF files in here and say, hey, remember this. Remember this. The other thing you can do with it is you can upload some of your previous ads to it and then upload the rules and regulations around your business and just say, analyze my ads for compliance with the rules and regulations of my industry. You with me?
Are these all things you're putting into custom instructions?
No, these are now being uploaded into the regular chat box. We're going to show you how to do, we're talking about it right now, and in a few minutes we're going to do it. Okay? So we're not doing anything yet. We're just take some notes here, and we're going to go live into ChatGPT in just a few minutes. Okay? Next thing you always have to do is to add the human oversight. Proofread, proofread, proofread. Remember to proofread every single line of output. And then I always encourage users to use AI as your first draft if you're writing something. If you are writing something for your blog, for example, ChatGPT will research information from multiple sources, and it will pull out a complete paragraph in some cases from those alternate sources. If you print that and don't give credit as to where it came from, that's plagiarism, that's copyright infringement, and if you post it on your website, you could be sued. Same way that you can't go to Google and get a generic picture, download it, and upload it to your website without paying a $1,500 to $2,000 user licensing fee from the person that discovered it. Because these days, by the way, there's AI that exists that crawls your website and says, okay, Tara copied this paragraph from this location. We're going to get in contact with this location's attorney. That attorney is going to call Tara and say, Tara, you copied our stuff and you didn't give us credit for it. Now you got to pay us $2,000 for licensing fee to use it. You see where I'm coming from? This is the reason it gives you a bibliography. It tells you where the information came from, and you're going to see that here in a little bit. You also can train ChatGPT with scenarios from your business. So let me give you an example of how I used it. So I went into ChatGPT, I went into the multiple listing service first, and I downloaded 300 of my property descriptions that I have written during my career. I printed those out as a single PDF file, and I uploaded all of those MLS sheets to ChatGPT and said, analyze my MLS listings. How can I make them better? And it gave me 4 pages of ways to make it more effective. Then I said, using the same document, read my property descriptions and the syndicated remarks and learn my writing style, including the language that I use, the style, the Oxford comma, etc., so that when I ask you to write one of my property descriptions, it sounds like I wrote it. See, it's no different than talking to a toddler. All you got to do is tell it what you want it to do and then test it. If it doesn't do it perfectly, go back and rewrite with more detail as to what you're looking for. Tell it what you didn't like about the output, and it will fix it. That's what makes this amazing, is because you're literally training it how to be you. How many of you have ever thought to yourself, gosh, I wish I could clone me so that I could get 80 hours one week? Here it is. This can take all of your paperwork and all of your documentation and everything to get back to you. Make sense? Again, the output can be trained. Anchor your output to your requirements. That's what we did in the setup earlier. All output should be an AP style on an 8th grade level. We're continuing to walk through that. Now, the other thing I need you to remember is that AI will sometimes make stuff up. And this is called hallucination. It's called AI hallucination. And this is the reason that we have to proofread everything. And by the way, that graphic there was made by artificial intelligence. I had it use all of the information I've written in previous articles and blogs about artificial intelligence and create a graphic for me about artificial intelligence hallucinations. And that's what it gave me on the first try. Pretty impressive when you get it to learn what you're doing. Okay? Again, always, always, always proofread your output. So let's talk about writing prompts. And before you try to capture every little thing on this page, just listen, because we're going to make this easier for you. The first thing you have to do is give it the role that you want it to play. You are a marketing expert in the world of county school systems. That's the role. You're a marketing expert. You're laying the groundwork. Here's who I want you to be. So for me, it may be, or for Shane, it may be, you are my real estate coach. I am a new agent that's been in the business for 5 months. Create a business plan for me to sell 20 homes in 2026. You with me? That's the goal. See how we set that up? Here's the role, here's the goal. Then we have to outline the format. We've already done that because we've told it we wanted an AP style on an 8th grade level. And I encourage you to use that because your writing will be of better quality if you do it that way. Then we have to set the boundaries. So here's what new agents always say. We're going to continue with Shane's description. You are my real estate coach. I want to sell 20 houses next year and I want to write a business plan to do so, but I don't have any money to spend. You with me? You can tell it that. I don't have a marketing budget, or I have a marketing budget of $5,500 for the year. So for me, I would go in and say, you're my real estate coach. My goal is to add 5 new investment properties to my portfolio this year and sell 25 to 30 homes in the Youngsville, Wake Forest, and Franklinton areas in 2026. That makes me a minimum of $200,000 net. Print the information as a business plan. Make sure that the goals and objectives are leading, and then the how-to get there at the end. I do a Kentucky Derby party the first Saturday of May every year and invite all of my past clients. And I do bourbon and bourbon and champagne tasting at our house as a fundraiser every year and for the opportunity to connect with clients. You have all of the previous information from my business. You can use information from paterealty.com, my YouTube channel, my Instagram page, my Facebook page, my TikTok account, and my LinkedIn page, giving it where to go to grab other information. I can offer demonstrations of output. I don't do this. I do this when I'm editing what the output says. And then encourage step-by-step thinking. Give me a step-by-step action plan with 1 big rock every quarter and 3 smaller rocks every quarter to accomplish. Divide those smaller rocks into once-a-month goals. Do you see how we're putting this together using this as the output? Are you with me? It sounds complicated the first time you hear it, but again, the 100-hour rule, 17 minutes a day, you're getting this better and better. By the way, you can save this as a Word doc, cut and paste it, so that you can come back to it and change it up until you get it just right. And I'm going to show you why in a couple of weeks, because we're going to teach you how to create your own ChatGPT prompts that are always native on the system so that your repeated activities, you just click a button. So we're going to show you that in the 3rd month, just so you know. So make sure you're here in December, because that's going to be a day where you're going to get somewhere in the ballpark of 15 hours a week back for your time. Everybody cool here? Understand the concept of the prompt? So there are also little details. If you're using AI to create a graphic for your social media, if you're asking it to create a graphic, make sure you instruct it as to whether the aspect ratio is 16:9, which is our rectangle here, or is it 9:16, which is what it looks like where you're holding your phone up, or is it a square like it's going to be on Instagram? Make sense? You have to be specific with what you want it to look at with the output in that aspect ratio. So here's the first thing we're going to do. I want you to go and open a new chat. Click on New Chat. How many of you have your own website? You guys have your own website? Okay. You're going to need to capture your website, and I want you to put Analyze My Website using this link for the home page. Now, Tara, you may want to use the the Franklin County Public Schools page, or if you've got a particular school page, or if you've got a particular topic that you want to cover, you may want to focus on that deep drop into the page as a landing page. Shane, do you have a website yet?
Yeah, just was created.
Okay, so you can use that. Penny, do you have a website? Okay. Jason, Kristen, you guys got a website? All right, cool. Richie, are you doing this for the chamber? Yes. Okay, good. So just type in the link to it and say, Analyze My Website using this link. And hit enter. Let's see what you get. When you get response, I want you to share it with us. All right, go ahead, Donna.
It says, your homepage immediately states flexible co-working, office rentals, meeting space. That tells visitors what you can do without guesswork. Okay. Number 2 says features like 2-hour meeting space, unlimited coffee, private gym access, event help you to determine your offer. The reserve office or meeting space section shows what rooms are available, hourly rates, and booking options. The blog shows you are active in the community and positioned as a resource.
All right, pause for a second with that. How many of you have got output? How many of you got a response? Okay, now go to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Go to the bottom of it. We're going to give it another instruction. The next instruction is examine my site for search engine optimization and give me advice on how to improve my SEO.
Where did you do that?
Underneath the output that you just got, there's room for you to type more. Okay? And you just type, Analyze My Website for search engine optimization and make some suggestions on how I can improve it and how I can improve my SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization. You need to know what that is, because when somebody Googles you, that's how they find you. All right, let me get my glasses. If you need rescue, let me know. I'm here to help. This section is designed so that you can do it yourself.
So I went to my website.
Okay.
Copied that link.
Yep, perfect.
And then I went.
Yep.
and I
All right,
typed
now
in-
scroll down, or scroll all the way to the bottom. Now, right here where it says Ask Anything, type Analyze My Website for search engine optimization, period. Make suggestions on how I can improve my SEO. Search engine optimization. Make suggestions on how I can improve my SEO. How you doing here, Penny? Is it giving you suggestions? Can you read for us what it says?
Issue missing / weak page titles and meta description.
Aha. Do you guys know what a meta description is on your website? How many of you have done a search on Google for your own site? And you see the site, and then underneath it, it's got a short sentence about your company. That's the meta description. Your meta description should match the description of your page. See, this is the kind of stuff we're going to do over the next few weeks, folks. We're going to clean up your websites using AI. You're going to find all of your broken links. You're going to bring some of your old blogs back to life because, folks, you're going to be able to create massive amounts of content using AI. Now, we're not just going to cut and paste it, by the way. We're going to add your personal touch into it as we're posting. But this is where we're going. You're getting a taste of what's wrong with your SEO. This is the biggest mistake that small businesses across the country make. I'm getting ready to go out to Las Vegas in January. Have any of you ever heard of the CES show, the Consumer Electronics Show? It's where they roll out these cool new cars, all of the new technology for your house and stuff. And I'm literally doing a session on using AI to improve your search engine optimization. Because even those huge companies don't have somebody looking in from the outside. This is your looking in from the outside, you guys. This is your business partner. This is your thought partner. This is your idea partner. Go underneath that where you can type something else and say, recommend a meta description for my website in order to improve my SEO.
Okay, so that's already here.
Is it already there?
To the right, it says fixes and recommendations.
There you go.
For each page, write a unique title tag and meta description that includes your main keyword plus service area. It's already there.
It's already there. Are you seeing the light here? All right, let's have some fun with this. We've already done this one. Let's get to even more depth. Watch this one. Go underneath to where you were. This is going to be fun. You're getting ready to learn something about yourself. Create a persona of my ideal client. Include a profile of their age, marital status, family, and what they want from my business. My persona's name in my real estate business is Emily. She is a 30-year-old female that is single and has 2 cats and a dog. It's almost like a dating app. As it learns you enough, there are people that are using it to learn more about them and say, where can I find my ideal spouse? Sarah Thompson, read it. Go ahead, Donna, read it on.
The growth-minded entrepreneur, Sarah Thompson.
Okay.
She's 32 to 48, primarily female. Through workspace attracts all genders. Married or recently married, has 1 or 2 children in school, seeks balance between family and business life. Location is Wake Forest or Youngsville or surrounding area. College educated, possibly with advanced certifications in business, marketing, or design. Owns or manages a small business, such as a boutique marketing agency or creative studio, real estate firm, or online retail brand.
Okay. Did you hear all of that?
There's a lot more.
There's a lot more to that, right?
Yeah.
Now scroll to the bottom of that and watch the screen. Here's what we're going to do next. You ready? This is where it starts to get fun. using that persona, write an Instagram post that would draw that persona to my business. And Don, I want to hear what you get since we listened to your persona.
Ready to take your business to the next level? You've outgrown the kitchen table and the coffee shop. You need focus, connection, and a space that reflects your professionalism. At Workspace Provision, you'll find more than a desk. You'll find a community that believes in your vision. Private offices and co-working spaces, meeting rooms that impress clients, business support through our Link program. It's an old blog post. Fresh coffee, real conversations, and local connections.
Pause right there. Fresh coffee, what did it say?
Real conversations and local connections.
Fresh coffee, real conversation, and local connections. That's pretty awesome tagline. Make sense? Do you see, okay, how many of you have gone, okay, at this point, right? So here's what you have to understand. There's a lot of learning going on today. You're learning to write prompts. You're learning how to use it. But while you're doing all this, folks, ChatGPT, because you're on the paid version, is learning about your business a little bit at a time. So if you go to this every day for 17 minutes a day, and think about what we've done this morning already. We've created a pretty good Instagram post. We've created a potential tagline. I really like that. I don't know if you like it or not. I thought that was cool. But if you think about it, we could also use that Instagram post to do a video. We could do a reel. We could add it to our YouTube channel. Okay, so let's have some fun with that. How many of you got the Instagram post? Everybody got the Instagram post? Go to the bottom of it, and we're going to type some more. By the way, I'm making this up on the fly as we go, so we're going to see how this works. You ready? I want you to type this. Write a script for a YouTube short video that's less than 30 seconds about this Instagram post. Write a script for a YouTube short video that's 30 seconds or less with the same information as the Instagram post and see what it gives you. Now, what it probably did is not only gave you a script, but also gave you scenes. Use a video of this, and while you're doing it, say this. Am I making sense? Can you continue on, Donna, for us and at least read the first little bit?
Scene 0 to 5 seconds. Soft, upbeat music, close-up of a woman working at her kitchen table, kids in the background, dog barking, narrator or on-screen text. Still running your business from the kitchen table. Scene 2. She looks frustrated and then she closes her laptop. Cut to her walking into Workspace Provision. Bright, professional space. And the narrator says, "It's time to work where your dreams belong."
There you go. So you get the idea of what this. It's literally setting up everything for you, folks.
Yeah, I just did a radio ad in Henderson, and I did ChatGPT, and it tells you to start off with birds chirping in the background. I mean, it just told you the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, and I'll teach you a couple of tricks very quickly here. When you are doing your how many of you are using video?
Yes.
None of you are using, only a couple of you. Okay, why don't you use video? Shane, why don't you use video?
I'm learning how to get started.
Okay, so let me give you a hint. Stop getting ready to get ready. Every time I talk about doing video, I get somebody in the room that goes, "Brian, I don't like the way I look on camera, and I don't like the way I sound. I have some really bad news, Sonia. That's the way you look, and that's the way you sound. So come with what God gave you. God made you for a reason this way. So don't be shy. So you know what? Kids are mean. Just look at them and say, do you really want to be a smart aleck to me when I taught you how to poop? Problem solved. Okay? I had to teach you how to poop. Do you really want to go there with me? You know what? Look, you got to learn to shut your kids up quick these days because they will mouth off. Do what? You can do that on your 35-year-old too. Yeah, look, remember what I told you earlier. Our job is to mess with our kids and have a good time doing it. So again, the system is learning about your business, you guys. And over time, think about it. If you spent 17 minutes a day for the next 30 days, imagine how wildly improved you're going to be when we come back next month. Do what? That's the goal. That's the goal, is that we can take these 6 sessions, you guys, and put you so far ahead of your competition. Here's what it depends on. When you walk out of here today, you have 2 options. You can schedule this time on your calendar to do this every day. I am a firm believer, if it's not in my calendar, it's not happening. So if I called you and said, how important is learning OpenAI and learning artificial intelligence to you and your business? And you said, it's the #1 thing. Great, show me your calendar. And I don't see any time set aside to practice it, then I know that you're lying to me. I have one of my businesses that I'm coaching in Denver, Colorado right now. And the owner is a little difficult. And he told me, he says, Brian, the first thing I really need to do is I need to take care of me. I need to lose 25 pounds by the time the Christmas holidays roll around. And I said, okay, can you share your calendar on the screen with me? And it's packed with busy work, nothing productive. I mean, he's having coffee with the buddies, he's playing golf with his friends, he's got all that. Nowhere on his calendar is anything about working out. Nowhere on his calendar is there a grocery shopping day set aside to go shop for the right foods, because it takes time to look through the food, figure out. I'm the wrong guy looking like this to give you advice on picking your meals. But I know that because I drink 4 Mountain Dews a day, I'm a fat guy and I am what I am. But when you're not setting aside time to make things work for you, that's a problem. I can look at your calendar and tell what is important to you. And I'm not talking about your work calendar where you have all of the homes that your staff members have to go to. I'm talking about your personal calendar. What matters? Because see, as a real estate agent for years, I went wherever the public wanted me to go. You call me on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock, want to see a house at 3 o'clock? Guess what I did, Shane? I showed that house. Because of doing that, I missed time with my 2 daughters. And my relationship is not as strong as it could have been. Today, my day stops at 1 o'clock every day because I am a business owner of 3 businesses. And there's always chaos that happens every day. So I schedule the chaos from 1 to 5 every day. The nice part about it is because I've gotten so organized, there's not as much chaos, which means I get time to sit around and play with stuff like this and go, ooh, wonder what I'm going to do for the next video. Wonder what I'm going to do for the next class. See, we have a course catalog of about 140 different classes. We offer continuing education in 7 different states. That doesn't come by packing my schedule every day, slam-packed against each other. You with me? If you show me your calendar, you'll show me what's important to you. Now, I will give you an AI system that I used for my calendar. Think about it. Watch a couple videos on it before you decide if it's good for you or not. Because I don't want you just going out and blowing $15 a month on 80 different AI systems. That's not what I teach. But if you need help managing your personal calendar, again, I'm not talking about your business calendar, I'm talking about your personal calendar. There is an AI called Motion.ai, Motion.ai, and it will help you analyze your calendar and be able to get rid of things that are just busy. There's a significant difference between being busy and being productive, and OpenAI's ChatGPT can do that. Okay? Now we're going to have some fun. I want you to pull out your mobile version of ChatGPT on your phone. Okay? Does everybody see the blue circle on the right-hand side about midway through? Okay, yours is white. Okay? Let's see. See that right there at the bottom, the black circle? Go back to, let's see. Where are you here? Okay.
Oh.
Right there. See that white?
So it's the same, yeah.
Do you see what I'm talking about, Tara? Okay, you're going to get logged on. Penny, do you see it?
I ain't gotten there yet.
Okay.
They've been doing this every day.
Got it. Okay, good. I like it. Okay, that black button for you. All right, now watch. You're going to do this for you in just a second. See the cue on the front? Ask me 5 questions, one at a time, about my business so you can learn more about it.
Absolutely, Brian. Let's dive in step by step. First question, what's the primary goal you have for your real estate business in the next year or so?
To sell 25 homes with 20 of them being listings and 5 of them being buyers.
Got it. That's a really clear target. All right, second question, what do you see as the biggest challenge in hitting that goal, especially on the listing side?
Interest rates are still above 6%, and I'm hoping they go below 6 in 2026, period. I also think that we're going to have some challenges with new construction being more popular than resale because it's now cheaper to buy a new home than it is to buy a resale home in my area.
That makes a lot of sense, and it definitely sounds like the market dynamics are a big factor. All right, third question. What kind of marketing or outreach strategies are you thinking about using to attract those listings, given that challenge?
I am a heavy user of social media, and I want to focus on growing my YouTube account to over 1,000 followers in 2026. I also want to make sure that I'm not missing targets on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media opportunities. I also do a Kentucky Derby party every year on the first Saturday of May for all of my past clients, and it always produces lead opportunities for me.
That's a fantastic blend of digital and in-person engagement, and it really shows you've got a multi-channel approach in mind. All right, fourth question. How are you planning to use your educational or coaching background to help differentiate your brand from other agents who might be competing for the same listings?
My hope is that I don't make the same mistakes that most of the agents that I train make.
Absolutely. That's a great guiding principle. Leveraging your teaching experience to avoid those common pitfalls is definitely a strong differentiator. Now for the fifth and final question, is there any particular tool or technology you're especially excited to integrate into your business in the next year to help you meet these goals?
I'd really like to use artificial intelligence in order to save me time and save me the creation time for business plans and marketing systems and marketing plans for listings.
That's a perfect area to lean into, and it lines up nicely with everything you're already doing. So thanks for sharing all that. It gives me a great snapshot of where you're headed and how you're thinking about bringing AI into the mix.
Now give me output on how I can use the answers to those 5 questions in order to be able to build my business in 2026. She's still thinking about all of the designs. She'll speak up here in a minute. Do you see how I'm having a conversation with her? I have a trick for you business owners that you need to know. you need to take this back to your students, because this is something they don't teach in middle school, high school, college, I don't care where it is. Sometimes simply speaking your ideas allows clarity to happen. As you're talking in circles about your goals and everything here, things become clearer. And clarity is what most small businesses are missing.
Absolutely.
Okay, I need you to stop talking. Okay, now the other thing you need to know is all of those questions that she asked me are now printed. The questions that she asked and my answers are now here, as well as her responses. Make sense? So you now have a transcript of your brainstorming conversation. You with me? This is where small businesses have an advantage over the large companies. Shane, if you want to change your policy this morning in your real estate business, you can have it done by 10 o'clock, can't you? But if I want to change the path of AT&T, that's a big ship to turn that may take months to make a small change. That's the advantage that small businesses have. And artificial intelligence systems like this give you the opportunity to have a strategic partner, a business partner, someone to bounce ideas off of. Am I making sense? I have 13 AI employees in my system. One of them is my business partner. The best part about him is he is cheap because he is $20 a month. But I go into that AI employee, and by the way, you're going to learn to do this by the end of this 6 months. You will have the same employees that I have that will help you run your business, because we're going to have separate GPTs that you click a button on the business development or the business strategy side, and you talk to them about your ideas. Hey, how many of you have been sitting alone in the house somewhere, or maybe you're driving? I love to drive with no music on, by the way. And all of a sudden you go, oh my God, I just had a great idea. Anybody ever watch The Facts of Life? Anybody remember Blair Warner on The Facts of Life? Oh my God, I just had another one of my brilliant ideas. I need to capture that scene so that I can do it. That's where the magic happens, but you can't stop because you're driving. But if my wife gets so aggravated, she'll look at me and go, you know, you could talk to me. I'm sitting here in the passenger seat. But there are also some times where she'll go, honey, that was a great idea. I go, really? And I'll screen grab it and I'll email it to myself. Anybody else email yourself to remember to do stuff? Look, I'm 56 years old. If you tell me, Brian, I need you to do this, I'll look at you and go, email me that, Sonia, so that it hits me in the morning. Make sense? As you develop your business, that is where it grows and that's how it grows. As you begin to think at a higher level, you're going to have to fight off the temptation to do everything because it's going to make you too busy. You still have to manage your calendar. So if you come up with 5 ideas this week that you think they're all the billion-dollar idea, and you try to implement all 5 of them at the same time, you will fail. As we said earlier from Mr. Buffett, what is the one most important thing? And nothing else gets in the way of it. Let me give you an example. May I have a quick coaching session with Shane here? Do you guys want to see how this works? Shane, do you have a business plan?
I do not.
You do not. So when you wake up on Monday morning, what do you do to build your business? What do you do to get business?
Ask myself, what am I supposed to be doing as a realtor right now?
Okay. Can I give you a business plan that will make your life, flip to a new page on there. I'm getting ready to make your life so simple. So Shane, let me while you're pulling that out, let me give you an example here. If you were to get one listing every week for the next 12 months. Now you're going to take 2 weeks off for vacation, because even realtors need vacations, contrary to what people believe. Okay? But if you set a goal of taking one listing every month, excuse my terrible handwriting, that's 50 listings. Pull out your calculator. Let's just use a round number and say the average income on a listing is $10,000. You cool with that? What is 50 times $10,000? Watch your $500,000. And that's in gross commission income. Would that be a pretty good year? Okay, especially considering you net probably 50% of that after taxes, as the car guys say, tax, title, dealer prep, your marketing, your advertising, your write-offs. So is $250,000 a good income? Yeah, it's a great income, because only 18% of people in the United States make more than $100,000 a year. And you're making 150% of it. By doing what? What's the one thing I told you you're going to do? One listing every week. Okay? How much would that change your life? Tremendously. You could work for 5 years and probably retire if you did it right. But yet most real estate agents, spend their time doing busy work rather than doing productive work. They go out to new construction sites and they film a video walking through a pretty parade of homes. How many of you seen them online the last couple weeks? Oh, look at me. And then I love this one. I want to thank all of my past clients for supporting me so that I can have this new white BMW. We're the only business in the world that markets like that. How many of you have ever seen a heart surgeon go, just replaced another heart transplant? No. People hate that style of marketing. How many of you are grossed out by realtors? If you're in a room with realtors and you go, oh, he's a realtor, oh my God. How many of you read my bio and said, oh crap, he's a realtor, this is going to suck?
I did.
See? And what we have to understand as realtors is, what don't people like about us? They don't like the way that we're in your face with marketing. So if you watch my socials, you're going to see listings, you're going to see me talk about the real estate business, but you will never see my clients holding a cardboard key at the closing table in front of the attorney's logo, because I don't market like that. What I will tell you about is, here's a photo of the house. It took us 5 months to get it ready to go on the market. It takes me 5 months of work in order to get a house sold the first weekend. See, people don't think about that fact. Small business owners are the exact same. You sit up at 11 o'clock at night and nobody sees that. Nobody sees that you spent 3 hours in the emergency room last night with your child who was sick and still made it to the office at 8 a.m. And by the way, you're having to juggle the sick child at home with your spouse, with you, and you've got a meeting this morning, you've got a class this morning, whatever it is. Get rid of busy on your calendar. And if you need help, ask ChatGPT, what are the 5 most important things that I can do for my 20% this week? You guys know what the 20% rule is? 20% of what you do, 20% of your activity creates 80% of your income. You have to figure out what that 20% is. You have to figure out what that 20% is, and you have to be laser focused on it. Am I making sense? Little did you know you get a business class out of this. All right, I have about 7 minutes left. Are there any questions that you have on something that I've not covered so far.
I have a kind of a related question.
Sure.
Before this class happened, I went down the path of Claude AI.
Okay.
A friend of mine who's a detective recommended that path.
Yep.
Looking at it. How does that vary? I mean, I did some of the exercises using what you did, and it's very similar
Yes.
kind of output.
Yes.
So what would you say to me?
So Richie's question is about Claude AI and how does it relate to the ChatGPT. Let me put my screen off so I quit walking through the forehead light. Claude is another ChatGPT protocol. Claude is a brand name. And all of these GPTs are going to do the same thing. However, only one of them has a $100 billion investment from NVIDIA chips, and that is OpenAI. And that is the reason I choose to go with it. Claude, Perplexity, and all of the others are simply duplicating with a few changes what OpenAI has created. It is the leader in the industry. There are 1.7 billion daily users of OpenAI ChatGPT. Claude's at about 300 million. Okay, so it's still someplace that you could go to both and bounce the ideas off of each. Now, I am also of the opinion that at some point Google's going to be jumping in this race, and when Google jumps in, they're going to go in with both feet without checking to see if the water's warm or not. And when they do that, it's going to be kind of like Android and iPhone. Google will get ahead, then OpenAI will get ahead, then Google will get ahead and OpenAI. They'll never merge because the Department of Justice will never allow it to happen because it'll be a massive monopoly. But what you're going to see is these two companies are going to swallow up all of these new little AI outlets that are popping up. We have 17 different AI systems that are being worked on at the Wireless Research Center of North Carolina in Wake Forest. So it's literally in our backyard. And most of those AI systems are probably going to be sold to the big guns for $10, $12, $15 million. And those people, we've got one group of kids that came out of Heritage High School's Gaming Academy, and they have a pair of gloves that a person that speaks American Sign Language, you can put a hearing piece in your ear, and as they move their hands, it translates those movements into words in your ear. All done via AI. These are the types of things that we're seeing done with it. Again, AI will not replace you. You will be replaced by someone who uses AI to make the consumer experience better. Claude does it. OpenAI does it. Grok does it to a certain level. There's all kinds of toys and games that you can play with. The big one right now is Sora. Sora had over 10 million or 100 million downloads in the first 3 days that it was available publicly. The problem with it is the only thing people are doing with it now is playing with it. And they're wasting a massive amount of time each week playing with it that they could be going out to get a listing. That's the battle that we have to fight. Those of us that wake up I'm typically awake by 5 a.m. every day. I have ChatGPT giving me a summary of all the real estate news at 6 a.m. So I don't have to go through what used to take me an hour and a half to click through everything on my iPad while I'm having my morning Mountain Dew because I don't drink coffee. While I'm going through this, it used to take me an hour because I am a newspaper man's son. I have to read the article, not just the headline. Now, using ChatGPT, I get the headline and I get the link to the full article. And I can always go in and say, can you give me a more detailed summary of the article from the Wall Street Journal on interest rates this month? Create a 300 to 500 word blog that I can use for my students to talk about this. Then create me a 30-second video script. Do you see how it cascades? Do you know how long it used to take me to write a video script? I've gotten really good at going, hi everyone, I'm Brian Pate from the Pate Realty Group, and today we're at my listing at 123 Happy Hollow Lane. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath home. Let's go take a look. It took years to perfect that and be able to do it in one take. If you've never done it before, though, how did I get it down? I got ChatGPT to help me write that script. And at the end of it, it gave me a couple of paragraphs. And I said, now make it more concise. It gave me one paragraph. Make it even more concise. Boom, one sentence. Every time it gives you output, you can tell it how to fix the output to make it better. Make this shorter. Make this more concise. Stop using big words. Make sense? We're going to do one more thing in your ChatGPT. You ready? Ready for this? This is going to be fun. Explain the Federal Reserve to me like I am 5 years old. And again, I'm just making stuff up on the fly here. So when you get output, raise your hand so you can read it to us. All right, Donna, go for it.
You have a big piggy bank at home where you keep your money. Now, think about a super big piggy bank that holds money for all the banks in the country. That's kind of what the Federal Reserve is. People just call it the Fed.
Mine is different, but very
Okay, read what you got.
Mine says you have a big toy box that everyone in your town uses to keep their toys safe. That toy box is kind of like the bank. The Federal Reserve, or the Fed, is like grown-ups in charge of all the toy boxes.
There you go. So imagine with your output, if it gives you something you don't understand, say, explain it to me again like I'm a 5-year-old. It will make it simple. Because the one hardest thing for business owners to do is to help their clients understand in simple terms. For example, if you're anybody ever been in the military? Okay, thank you for your service. Do you guys have acronyms in the military? A couple, right? I mean, you hear SOP, AWOL, all of these different, that's a foreign language. We do it in the real estate business too. This is the best advice I can give you. Don't talk in acronyms. Even saying something as simple as the Fed, people don't understand always that that's the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States. When we shorten things, people don't always understand us. It's no different than what we were talking about with the kids earlier today, saying bet when you agree with something, or no cap when you're not lying. If it's 6-7, I still don't understand what that means. I still don't understand what that one means. I'm still trying. Okay, go to ChatGPT. What does the term 6,7 mean for teenagers today? Do what?
Oh, I know.
Yes, I'm very fast. It's slang that's become popular among teens. It doesn't have a fixed meaning. Its meaning changes depending on who says it and what's the context. Some people use it to indicate something feels so-so or off, or just as a playful or absurd expression. Others use it referring to height or basketball in turn.
Right.
In part because the slang is connected to LaMelo Ball, who is 6'7" tall.
There you go.
Yeah, we got an ornament request for, hey Santa, all I want is 6'7".
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yep.
LaMelo Ball.
So this is the kind of thing you can, if you don't understand something, folks, stop using Google and go to ChatGPT. But the first thing you have to do is what I want you to do for homework over the next month. Okay, this is your assignment. Number 1, spend 17 minutes a day playing with this. Monday through Friday. By the way, if you're sitting around on the weekend and you start playing with it, I'm just warning you, you can go down a rabbit hole like you've never seen before. I literally spent an entire baseball game prepping a single paragraph in something I'm writing. Number 2, craft the details about your business so that the system can learn it. All you have to do is tell it about your business. I am in the business of blank. Here's all the things I can do. The name of my company is. Here is my website. Here is my Facebook business page. Here is my YouTube channel. All of that can play into it together. Now, what you don't want to do is upload things like your bylaws for your LLC or S corporation, because that would make the information public. You don't want to share anything that is confidential in this, because it does use what you're typing in to learn. You do have the ability in that personalization to say, do not allow ChatGPT to use my information for learning. But if you do that, it's not going to be able to learn about you. Make sense? So we're talking in generic terms. Don't upload your financials and things like that.
Where do you upload it?
So there's a little place when you're on the desktop version of it, there's a plus sign where you type. You click plus and it'll say add photos or files, and you'll be able to upload anything and everything there. Okay? Is it on there also? Even better. I didn't realize they'd put it on the mobile version, so that's good to know. See, even I learned something today. Richie?
Quick question. So I run the chamber, but I also have a professional photography business. How do you make that work for two different entities? You have 3 businesses. So how does that work, and how does it know which is which?
I tell it. Today we're talking about Brian Pate seminars. So the way I have mine set up, let me see if I can share. I'll go live into it so you can see it. Save. Let me get my glasses. This will go a lot faster. And again, I'm going to teach you how to do this. So don't ooh and ah yet. Come on, give me the... So over here on the side, these look the same as like a toolbar or a bookmark bar on your computer. So let me give you a vision into what my business looks like. So a client calls me. I set up, they're interested in moving from San Francisco to Raleigh. I talk with them on the phone for about an hour. I get all the necessary paperwork signed. And I say, I tell you what, overnight I'm going to work on for you a comparison of the Raleigh market to the San Francisco market. And I'll email it to you sometime tomorrow. Make sense? I've just promised them that I get it to them by sometime tomorrow. They're probably thinking 3 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. Watch this. San Francisco to Raleigh. This is a relocation calculator that I have programmed in. And it automatically takes data from all of the cities, all of the neighborhoods, and it does a cost of living comparison. Okay? Here's the cost of living comparison between San Francisco and Raleigh. So it's got the difference in prices, it's got the difference in property tax rate, it's got the difference between groceries, utilities, private school, health care, transportation. Then it compares the wallet. It compares all of this. Now, I've programmed this to do all this in the background. You're going to learn how to do this for your business, okay? But what I can now do is click copy, paste it into an email, proofread it to make sure I don't accidentally send them, would you like for me to create an Instagram post for this information? Because that's what a lot of realtors do. If you read enough realtor descriptions, it'll talk about how great the home is, and at the very bottom, they didn't even bother to proofread it, and you can tell because it says, would you like for me to create a social media post for your Facebook and Instagram page on this house? And it's literally written into the syndicated remarks you read on Zillow. So I take those out. Keep in mind, I've been off the phone with them for what, 10 minutes? I set up the email to send to them. I schedule the email for the next morning at 6 a.m. and it looks like I stayed up all night writing it. Make sense? Yes. Anything that's repetitive, we've got it programmed in here. Want to create a logo? Here's your logo creator. This is your brand evaluation system. This one is a guy I worked on with a guy named Robert Lee from the Atlanta, Georgia area. We've got a virtual staging that we do. We have, you remember the SEO that we did earlier? I have a full-length SEO chat. All of these are called custom GPTs. You're going to learn how to do this. Don't try to get ahead of me. You're going to learn how to do this probably in month 4 or 5, if not both.
Is that under here? Is that a new project?
So where it is, if you look on the screen, you see new chat, search chats, library. It's over here under GPTs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, you can actually go searching for GPTs that will do things for you. I don't want you to do that yet, because otherwise you're going to download a whole bunch of stuff and you're going to get lost and you're going to get frustrated and you're going to go, it didn't do what I needed it to do. That's why we're teaching you how to do it yourself, is so that you're not counting on other people. Because one of the things I've learned coaching small businesses for 30 years is that a lot of time customization is impossible when you hire someone else to do it. And so that's what we're going to teach. All righty? Folks, that is all for today. I hope you have an awesome week. I think, let me put my contact sheet up in front here again. Da-da-da. Put that up there and there we go. So this is the QR code if you want to follow me. Again, I'll post tips on here about once or twice a week on all my socials, LinkedIn, Instagram. If you're not on, by the way, I'm getting ready to say something to you that's going to catch some of you off guard. If you are not on TikTok, you need a TikTok account. I just took my first listing this week from a guy that found me on TikTok, and it's going to pay me $23,000 when it closes. Wow. Okay? So don't discount TikTok. Also, I encourage you to subscribe to me on the YouTube channel. You can help me out and I can help you out. You can get me more subscribers so that I can, once I get to 500 subscribers, I get some new pieces to it that will allow me to do some things that I can't currently do. And then when I get to 1,000, I get to monetize the channel, and I'll teach you guys how to do that. But it takes a long, slow build to build your YouTube channel. Followings on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok are a lot easier. And make sure that you have a LinkedIn page with all of your details about you and your company, because that's where people go to find out if you're really in business. It's your online resume. LinkedIn is the highest ranking social media system when somebody searches your name. Okay? And then I'll offer you one more tip and trick before we go. You ready? Rather than searching yourself on your own computer or your own phone, go to your local library and log on to a computer that you've never logged on to before. Don't log on to any websites that you are on. Just simply go to Google and type in your name and what business you're in. So Shane Realtor or Shane Real Estate or Penny with cleaning services. And just see what pops up. Because next month we're going to talk about using your Google business profile. So if you do not have a Google business profile, Kim Cade can do that for us, I think. If you need Kim Cade to do a Google business profile for you, she can do that. So pick up the phone and call her. Kim's the president of the board of directors right now. Do what?
She knows us well.
There you go. There you go.
Do you know of anybody who's not here today that can benefit from this, get the word out? There's a lot of great information I think is worth for a lot of businesses to benefit from, you know, and they're really missing out.
Yep.
Yeah, Brent, I think this is the most valuable class that I've had here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, while you're on that link, you can give me feedback and leave a review on my Google Business profile. So have at it.
Can I get a picture with you?
Sure, absolutely. It's always good to promote.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I'll warn you, I have a face made for radio.
Okay, thank you, sir. Got it.
There we go.
I don't want you to, Donna.
Oh, sweet.
There you go.
This is
So
your,
Steve,
this is your
maybe-
facility, right?
Yeah, let's get Brian in here too.
Okay.
Come
Yep.
on, Brian.
I don't know if my arm's that long. That's a good one. Thanks.
Awesome.
Sweet.
All right, you
Follow, like, and share.
because you're sponsoring this, right?
Follow, like, and share.